Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. First things first, if you're new here, please subscribe. You don't have to, of course, but it would really help me out and where I'm trying to get my channel to be. Today, I want to talk to you about something which has been playing on my mind, and as you know, and a lot of my subscribers will know, that anything I go through in my life or anything that I'm working through or anything that's getting me down, and if I'm through it and that storm's passed in my life, then I love to talk about it, raise the roof about it on my channel so I can pass it on, that little bit of life experience, so to speak, or that bit of thought or that constructive sort of structure to build in life to get us all a little bit more emotionally stronger, a little bit more mentally sort of healthy, a little bit more sort of robust to be able to take more on in life. As we all know, this life is a very, very blessed and incredible one, but my goodness, it can also be a very, very difficult one at times as well. But of course, it's all worth it, what we go through. So every decision we make has an effect on our life. Now you may think, what a big topic to approach. Well, actually, it's up until recently that it's not just actually my decisions, but it's the decisions of others which have had a real impact on me. Now, I've spoken about it recently on my channel, but I think it was the first or second week of January. Definitely the first, I've just looked at the date. And I was really taken back just by that. I'm going to say this, the faith in humanity, which I've always had, has always been really, really high. And I'm a true believer that if you do good in this world and you put good out there, eventually I love to think that that good will make its way back to you. And I would never not be that way. Why on earth would you want to start the day and being nasty and malicious and unkind? It's just, I don't understand that. And I know a lot of that goes on in this world, but I really don't understand that. But anyway, it was the decisions of this one person, or decision rather, the one person what really got me thinking. And I'll be quite honest, it's really affected my confidence and it did shake me up. It did shake me up. I've kind of got myself together about it now, but I do look at things slightly differently, and thankfully I'm all okay. A little bit uncomfortable, a little bit sore from what happened, but I'm okay. So first week of January, so just to recap the story, so I was picking up some medication. I was in a large car park with my twin brother, and anybody who knows me, I've had a lot of surgery on my right side of my groin. I've had some problems with the nerve, and I hate the term, but I walk with a little bit of a limp. I have to do exercises daily to be able to keep my walking straight and to keep my legs strong. So sometimes I could use, I suppose, a little bit of assistance with walking, but I don't. That's a choice. I don't. Probably to help with my back, because I get a lot of sort of uncomfortableness, a lot of sort of pain sometimes, bit of stiffness in the bottom of my back. But I do walk with, I suppose the term is like a bit of a gait, isn't it? A gait, where you have this slight kind of adaptation or maneuver to help with whatever you've got going on. So it's not all the time. On good days you'd never notice, but I wasn't having a great day. I was quite uncomfortable. I wasn't having a great time of it. And anyway, out of nowhere, I have never in my life seen a car back out so fast. And within a second, and I had a long coat on. It was a really cold evening. And then funny enough, it was slightly snowing, which in my part of the world is really quite rare, doesn't happen very often. And my brother and I was talking, and we were walking at the same pace, and it was not a problem. I was very vigilant, to the cars and things, what was going on around me. And then all of a sudden, this car backed back as quick as anything. And in just a flash, I could just see myself. In my mind, I was already up on top of the car. And I had thought that, do you know what? Something's gone wrong here, and I'm going to be in real dire straits. And this is going to be a real issue for me, and how am I going to get back up? And that all went through my mind in a matter of seconds. My brother, amazingly, within a second, probably less, managed to get me out the way, but with doing so, it took me off my feet and I fell towards him, so I jarred my side and went over. I have quite a scar on my right side from my surgeries. I think it's been opened up 3 times, so as you can imagine, I've got some nerve problems and one thing and another, and it's uncomfortable. So I really jarred myself over on that, but the shock was incredible. I literally felt numb. And here's the decision, what we're talking about in today's topic. The decisions what we make, every single decision has an effect on our life and has an impact on our life. And that's every decision, my friend. From getting up in the morning to the last thing you do when you go to bed. Okay, so my brother ran after the car because it sped off to go out of the car park. And I thought that because I could feel the car on the coat I had, and if my brother wouldn't have got me out of the way, I absolutely believe I would have been up on that car and there would have been some serious injuries. That car, I just feel from, I don't have my license, but I have learnt to drive, but I haven't passed my test, so I've done lessons. So I know that heightened awareness of when you're in the car. And I understand that whatever reason somebody could be going through something, their mind could have been elsewhere. But could it really have when they were in that car and they were doing something, let's say, quite vulnerable in a vehicle, reversing back out of the parking bay? And you know what? There was two people in the car park, and they immediately came over and spoke really quite loud to see if I was okay. And do you know what? That car didn't stop. That car just literally sped off out, and it's seen my brother, and I think my brother tapped on the back of like the bumper, the rear part of the car, and do you know what? Just sped off. And do you know what? When I seen that, and that the person didn't even stop, I mean, do you know what? Absolutely. If there was a genuine mistake took place there, do you know, it really wouldn't have worried me. Even if I would have had an injury, it wouldn't have worried me because things happen. But the fact that that person made that decision to, regardless of what happened, they didn't know. They didn't know what happened to me. They didn't know. I could have broke a bone. I could have done anything. I'd actually thought that I'd done something to my hip. But I was just really bruised, really uncomfortable, very sore. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Wow. And it has real damaged my faith in humanity. But we're getting back there. There's one person. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on that. And strangely enough, a couple of days later, I was with another brother of mine, and I was walking past a car, and the car didn't start to back up, but the lights came on, and my senses I just jumped out of my skin, and it just almost frightened me, and really, really took me back. It's just, I find that really, really sad that actually just that decision of one person and that whole event, what happened. Do you know, I didn't think that I could be changed by something like that. And I know, goodness me, that people go through a lot worse. And I absolutely appreciate that. But I think just the whole shock of all of this has really made me think. And I think on today's clip of the clip I'm bringing to my channel today is that every single decision, my friend, has an impact, whether it be positive, whether it be negative. And it can have a lasting impact on our lives. For example, if that was turned upside down, and God forbid it, something had happened to somebody else, and they weren't so fortunate, if my brother wouldn't have been there to have got me out of the way, it would have been far worse. And if that would have happened to perhaps somebody elderly, somebody vulnerable, to a child, to a child, how frightening to even think, to even go there with that. I have younger nieces and nephews, and it's just, oh my goodness. It's just, you can't comprehend it. But yet that person made that decision to not even stop to see if that situation was okay. And it's just, I think that really, really scary that actually that person's decision could have been absolutely catastrophic and could have left catastrophic lasting results. But yet that person chose to continue and sped off out of the car park. Every decision, my friend, as we're speaking, leaves a lasting effect, doesn't it? And I don't feel the same at the moment, but I'm getting there. I'm fine. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But is it? That's the thing, isn't it? So I was thinking this morning, do you know what? Now, faith is everything to me. Faith is a huge direction in my life. And I pray often, very frequently, and that guidance, that strength it gives me is just so profound. And I absolutely cherish it. I absolutely love it. And that really it's always been there in my life, but it really became a very, very strong pillar in my life after I lost my nan. And I hope people get this, but my nan was always, who's a second mother to me. I've been blessed with parents, my mum and my dad, who I love to pieces. And my dear nanny was very much like my second mum. I used to stay with her at weekends, and growing up, and we used to have such an amazing time. And then it was just Nanny and me, and it was like my second mum. And I grew up in such an incredible bond with my mum and my nan, my mum is my nan. Sorry, I'm really complicating that. My mum's mum is my nan, and their bond was just like sisters, the most incredible, just so special. And I got the privilege to grow up in that bond, in that sort of love, and that connection. I have an incredible family. But do you know what? It's like that when actually you think of that, I'm just so taken back by it. And it's the decisions that we make, isn't it? That actually, when you think about it like this, that from when we got to be a bit careful here and get a bit emotional, but it's those decisions which I'm going to come back to you. But apologies for that. Emotion got the better of me. As you can tell, my nan is absolutely everything to me, and sometimes it just all gets a bit much, and I have a bit of a blankness, and I just miss her so much. And do you know, it's strange, isn't it? But we were talking about my faith, um, and it brings me so much, and I'm so blessed in this life. I truly, truly am. And the whole reason of this topic today, that every decision we make it has an impact on our life, doesn't it? It has a result, doesn't it? It has a resulting factor. So whatever decision we do, there is a consequence of it, whether it be positive or negative. And this morning, and do you know, the last couple of days, and I was listening to a sermon, and it really did bring me great strength. And actually, do you know, even when we're going through things, it's important that we take the time to see the small things in life, and to really show appreciation for that. And do you know, we take so much for granted in our lives, don't we? And do you know, the last couple of mornings, and it's very easy for us to take things for granted, and we moan about small things. And I mean, let's be honest, I do. And in the morning, this morning I woke up, and do you know, for a minute I was getting myself ready, and I thought, do you know, there's people in this world who don't get this opportunity. There's people in this world who don't have this blessing to be able to get up and to be able to care for themselves, look after themselves, get themselves sorted for the day ahead, to look outside, to breathe fresh air, to be able to feel healthy and well, to be on top of things, to have what you have, to be blessed with what you have. And do you know, it's that decision, do you know, what we make in the morning? Do you know, let's embrace the day, let's go ahead, let's look at the day this way. Another analogy of that is, isn't it, and I've been through some difficult times in health-wise and one thing and another, and I have some things which I manage in the background, and I can actually start a day if I'm not feeling too great, and use that decision to actually say, do you know what, it's another day today, and it's really quite difficult, and I'm not feeling great, and do you know what, this is going on, and I don't know how I'm going to get through that. So in a way, it gives me that kind of uncertainty. It starts the day off almost like that. Actually, do you know what? We're a bit sort of all over the place. We're a little bit uncertain. We're a bit down in the dumps. I can make that decision to look at the day quite uncertain, or I can make the decision to be confident and really take ownership of what ship I'm sailing, as to speak, for that day in the morning. I think, do you know what? Yeah, I've got a few things going on, and do you know what? It's been a bit of a rocky road recently, the last couple of months, but I have been blessed with so much in this life. The sun is shining, may not be in this part of the world, it could be a white cloudy sky, but I can care for myself, I can get up and move about myself, I've got a job, I've done really, really well in terms of what I wanted to achieve in my life so far, and I'm well, and I'm having a good day, and I can be positive. And that influence, those decisions we make, that choice, remembering that every decision we make has a resulting factor, whether it be positive, whether it be negative. Of course, we're going to make decisions, and some of it's going to have a resulting negative effect. Sometimes we make the wrong decision, but never ever be afraid to make a mistake, because, of course, I've covered this so many times on my channel, but making mistakes is what grows us, my friend, is what develops us, which encourages us to be able to take that next step in life, to be able to rectify that mistake, or to be able to change what we've achieved. And perhaps it's not what we wanted, perhaps it's took us in a completely different direction in life. But we're going to keep going, we're going to get up again, we're going to find that inner strength, we're going to find that inner spirit, and we're going to move forward. Every single decision we make has an influencing result on us in our lives. Every decision has an impact, doesn't it? Whether it be positive or negative. And you know what, right from when we started this clip in regards to what happened to me in the first week, and that person, what made that decision just to sped off out of the car park after potentially leaving me with really quite an issue, and I really was quite shook up, and for a good couple of days I'm still feeling actually effects of it in the bottom of my back at the moment and my leg. But do you know what, that person has to, I'm sure, And it puts shudders down my spine to think that if they didn't, but I'm sure at some point in that evening they must have thought about that person being me, what happened, what potentially could have happened. And you know what, actually, again, that teaches us, doesn't it, that yes, we can make a decision, but sometimes the resulting factors of that, it's not just a couple of seconds and it's gone, is it? It can be lasting results from just one decision. It can be a lasting effect. Sometimes the answer what we get from making a decision isn't always what we wanted, but we're left with the result. We're left with the feeling. We're left with what it's brought to us. That could be a mixture of emotions. It could be achieving something which we didn't think we would achieve. It could be taking a state of mind which has left us for the rest of the week feeling absolutely horrendous. Every decision we make, my friend, has a result, has an impact, and it leaves us with that impact. I think that's what I wanted to share on my channel. And then actually, now we're in January, and a lot of people get a bit shaky in January, don't they? And a little bit down in the dumps and a bit blue. But do you know what? January is a good month, and I think that we should make that decision to embrace January, for it poses that new opportunity of being able to start afresh this year. A fresh year of many fresh, positive decisions to make, with many amazing results to come. So on that note, my friend, how about we all practice making some great decisions? God bless, take great care, and remember, it's not always easy, but don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's what makes you you, and there's only one of you, my friend, and that alone makes you simply incredible. God bless. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye now.